AEW Fyter Fest 2020. So let's not waste any time, folks. First of all, from event one, let's get to that one. Event one from July 1st of 2020, the commentators were Blue J.R. Jim Ross, Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Le Champion, leader of the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho, as always, on commentary for AEW, was pure gold. He was money on commentary. And if Jericho were to retire from professional wrestling, this is his stick. This is what he should do. He should stick on commentary whenever he's done. Whenever feel like he's done of his in-ring actions as a professional wrestler. He could be a professional commentator, leading up to his role in AEW. Because he's doing a great job as a commentator, with being entertaining, with being a color commentator in a way. And Jericho, he claims to be the best in the world at what he does, and he sure is proving it day in, day out. Night in, night out. Either way you look at it, Jericho gets it done because he is the best in the world. So, let's get to the show, which it took place at Jacksonville, Florida. Which took place at Jacksonville, Florida, at Daily's Place. And unfortunately, there's no real crowds there. Just the wrestlers, the staffs, family and friends of Dome, that were there to be there. To make it feel a feel good moment for the show, to have more variety. And I thought they did a good job of that. Mr. Roberts was also there as your ring announcer. You have Aubrey Edwards, Mike Posey, Paul Turner, and Richard Knox. Your interviewers were Alex Marvez and Dasha Gonzalez. So, the opening match was Jungle Express, which features Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, accompanied by Marcos Stuntcrow, which I hate. That he's part of Jungle Express, and also I hate that he's even in wrestling business in the first place. They go up against MJF and Wardlow. A tag match that lasted 11 minutes and 15 seconds. Before we get to the match itself, the promo of the night was MJF, folks. Because MJF, he gets on the mic and says that he is so sick and tired of having to beat Jungle Express over and over again. And he says that Wardlow has proved how green, Luchasaurus is last week. And we're against also what happened at Double Nothing, where we against MJF carrying Jungle Boy in the best match that he's ever had. And he's like, so why are we having this match? And basically took a shot. See, shots fired pertains to because we're in the middle of a ratings war. AEW versus NXT. For those who didn't know, I'm pretty sure you did know. I mean, why would you not know if you're watching NXT? AEW doing their, Fyter Fest, while NXT were doing their Great American Bash. So, there you go. So the match itself, the way they opened up this match was pretty good. The one who impressed me in this match the most, basically, was Wardlow. Besides, obviously, MJF, but most likely also because of Jungle Boy, Wardlow impressed me the most here. Luchasaurus does what Luchasaurus always does. Marco Stunt got involved, which I didn't care for because I don't care a fuck about him anyways, so fuck him. But yeah, this was a very good opening match for event one of Fyter Fest of 2020. So MJF tried to go for a punch to Luchasaurus, I believe it was. If I can see it, if it says it here. Oh yeah, Luchasaurus actually was being held by Warlow. Tried him with the loaded hand basically with the diamond ring, the AEW Diamond ring. And as Warlow didn't had enough grip to hold on to Luchasaurus, almost hit basically almost hit Warlow. And MJF yells at him says, "Can't you do anything right?" And all of a sudden, Luchasaurus pushes MJF to Warlow and accidentally punches Warlow with the loaded fist, with the ring. And he was trying to apologize, but the Boy goes after MJF, takes MJF out. All of a sudden, Warlow was all by himself with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and by God, when Warlow was taking all these abuse from Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, Warlow kept on firing back, and at one point he sat up like the Undertaker, but then it still wasn't enough because at the end of the day, it was Jungle Express of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy winning, and that was it. And good opener, like I said before, very very good opener. And Warlow once again has shined on AEW, not just with against Luchasaurus from that lumberjack match that they had, which I even said at the time, that match was not that good at all. But Warlow impressed me in that match, and Warlow once again impressed me here in this match. Warlow is going to be something in AEW if he's not yet. To be a big star in professional wrestling, he's getting there. He's getting there very, very good. Now, the whole thing with him and MJF, with this whole dissension, I don't like it. It's too soon. It shouldn't be this soon, where they're gonna end up breaking up. I don't like it. I don't know why they're doing this so soon. They haven't been together that long. So in my opinion, I think it'll be a waste if they started doing this way too soon. If there's more to it for MJF and Warlow, as an alliance. So I think they need to hold that until 2021. Basically, when we get crowds in there. But if you really want this thing to work for Warlow, it's going to break away from MJF. If he hand over MJF and his nonsense, you need crowds there. Real crowds there. Real wrestling fans to be there for that big moment, that big pop, to really showcase that Warlow is definitely the real deal, to be on its own, and a real deal of fans for any reasons to get behind Warlow. And also versus the Cody Rhodes too, where we can see him, with his direction of being a heel. If that is the goal they're going with Cody, it's going to become a heel. We'll get to that eventually when we get to Cody later. But yeah, just a moment. I'm trying to remember where I put that at. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but just give one moment, folks. I'll grab that. Okay, just give me one moment. Meantime, just take a look at this logo of Fyter Fest as I trying to find something here. I know it's here somewhere. I know I put it here somewhere. I just wish I knew where it was. You know what? Let me get the other one. Yeah, here we go. It's not the one. It's not the one I'm looking for, but it'll turn up. Oh, hold on a second. I need to pick this up. All right. Hopefully, nothing falls down as I try to get this. I want. Make sure nothing falls down. And just stay there, and there you go. It's good. It's good there. I'm that good. Yeah, just saying. Not to find myself, not to put myself over. In one moment. Whew. Oh, thank God. It's still some battery in here. Okay. All right. Now let's get back to me here. So, let's continue on. So yeah, so far it's starting off very good when it comes to the AEW Dynamite presents Fyter Fest Event 1. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now, the next match. Well, first of all, before we get to that, I gotta see. I gotta remember if anything else happened. After the match was over. Oh yeah, they show a highlight video package of Hikaru Shida versus Philippi 4 before we get to the next match of them, which we get to right now, is for the AEW Women's World Championship. You have number 4, who is the bad girl, being accompanied by super bad Kip Sabian versus the AEW Women's World Champion, who I call the Samurai Warrior. I think that's how I said it. But she should be more of the samurai princess, when you think, when I really think about it. But Hikaru Shida, match lasted 11 minutes and 28 seconds. Before the match started, we had Kip Sabian pushing, Hikaru Shida after, the whole thing where before and Hikaru Shida was pushing each other in a way, and Kip didn't get involved. So Aubrey Edwards decided to kick him out. And Jericho was going nuts on the commentary and saying, "You're supposed to do that, during the match." Like I said, Jericho is pure gold on commentary. So the match happened between Hikaru Shida and Penelope Ford, and by far one of Penelope Ford's best women's match that she's ever been in. I don't remember seeing much of her matches outside of AEW. And then in this match, she was very impressive too. Sakurato Warlow be impressive on this night. Penelope Ford was also impressive in this night, on that night too. Penelope Ford really showcased what she can do in the ring against a champion in Hikaru Shida, and she didn't disappoint. And Penelope Ford, she's very underrated. She's very underrated. Where some people don't think that she's very good in the ring, that she can hang, and she proved it. She basically proved although that was wrong, that she can hang in the ring, and she is that damn good. And who knows? Maybe in the future she might be a women's world champion in AEW. So yeah, I got nothing positive to say about this match. About before and Hikaru Shida. However, I gotta talk about Big Swole here because Big Swole was trying to get involved because some people were saying something to her because Big Swole said that she sucks and everything. And Big Swole said something back to her, and then Big Swole was going crazy, like, let me at her, and like, oh, here we go again. Big Swole is trying to trying to be the center of attention again. That's one thing I hate, about Big Swole, that she's overdoing it. She needs to stop overdoing shit. That it's really getting annoying, and AEW really needs to have a talk with her about that too, because it's really irritating. As a viewer, it's irritating. It's irritating. I love Big Swole. I'm a fan of Big Swole. She brings a lot to the table, in AEW, but she's doing a way too much. Where, like, okay, take a chill pill, like take a step back, you know. So yeah, I just didn't think that that Big Swole but Big Swole is just being Big Swole. So, and then we get to the part where Kip Sabian coming out. I didn't mention this too, by the way. Before he got kicked out, he took Hikaru Shida's kendo stick. So he comes out with a kendo stick. That hits Hikaru Shida as referees checking before. But Shida ducks out of the way. Hits Kip Sabian, and his thing with Kip Sabian, he got hit. Obviously he got kicked by I think he either got kicked or by like a palm strike, whatever, by Hikaru Shida. And Kip Sabian, when he got hit, this is what he did. When he got hit, he tossed it up. He tossed the kendo stick up instead of trying to pull out his acting, which I don't think he's a good actor anyways, and just proved it. For example, I don't want to go that way. I want to use something else now. Let's see, what can I use? Is there something I can use here just to prove a point here? I want to use my soda. The last thing I need is shake out the taste of the soda. I had some. I remember I had some here. Um, but I just see it. Just give one more, folks. Oh, here we go. It's one of these things again, where you guys watch the logo as I try to find something. Okay, I got something. Give one more. Okay, I got me one of those um lint rollers. Just give one moment. Get my head, my earbud back on into the ear. So, Kip Sabian, let's just say this is the kill stick that he was using against Hikaru Shida. And instead of, you know, doing what he did, like, for example, he did this, and then he got hit and then does this. Just for Hikaru Shida to catch it, what he should have done, do this, and then once he get hit, and then, do something like that, Yeah, the way I did it, I didn't look like I did it on purpose. I did it, or in a way like, or like, or something like this. Instead, Kip Sabian decided to do it like this. That was terrible. That was terrible, and that was unacceptable. Bad acting there by Kip Sabian. And he needs to do better. He needs to do better of that acting. But that was terrible, terrible. But yeah, but that led to Hikushi catching the killing stick and then whacking Kip Sabian. And match to continue. Before, she did a lot of great moves, by the way. Hikushida also did a lot of great moves. Obviously Hikushida, she's always good, but it was about before, and she really showcased what she can do in the ring, and she didn't disappoint. Even in defeat, she didn't disappoint. But Hikushida goes for the Michinoku driver, goes for penalty for the kick out of it, and then Hikushida goes for the finishing touch, the diving knee, or the rain knee, the rain short knee. Rain short knee, and gets the win. And now it's a match. And he obviously Hikushida won the belt, since Double or Nothing. So I didn't think she would lose anyways. But it was still a good showing for Penalty 4. She really impressed me. Not just as of her looks and everything that she is, if you know what I mean. But she really impressed me as a female, what seems to a female, a woman's wrestling work. Yeah, I thought she did a great job, and hopefully she gets another opportunity again later on down the line. Before I get to the next match, let me see if anything else happened on the show. Before we get to the next match. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it was about Taz. He breaks down on Jon Moxley's turn down shift finisher, where it pertains to and that's what was before too, where it pertains to Jon Moxley's turn down shift. At the time it was called Dean Ambrose. With the 30 Ds, where whatever he does, it's basically the double arm DDT. That's what it basically is. Where you get them on the arms, and then you got make sure you got to lock in to really hit to connect the move. And I always complain about that to the Moxley every time in WWE, where whatever he's teasing, he's going for the 30 Ds and he's doing this. And then his opponent ends up getting out of it, and then once he hits it, he goes like this. And I'm like, wait a minute. So what was the point of you doing this? You're ready to do this if you're not even gonna, even end up doing it when you do the move. I always complain about that every time. But in this case, Jon Moxley, what Taz was explaining, where pertains to the whole thing, you can't do that with Brian Cage because Brian Cage, his shoulders are huge. Brian Cage, he's jacked and all that, right? So it's gonna be impossible to do that. And I say to myself, well, it doesn't matter anyway because Jon Moxley does it, anyways. again, back in the days of WWE when he was Dean Ambrose, he does it. He does it on. He does it anyways. Even if he does try to, get some from his double arms and doesn't even try to get over them and try to cut his fingers together. He still does it anyway. That boom. So and at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what Taz says there because Moxley does it without doing that anyway. Unless if you're trying to do the elevated paradigm shift, like for example, you get him like this, and then you pick him up and then bam, hit him. That'll be a different story. So there you go. Just wanted to let you know about that one. And we'll get to more about Taz later, by the way. But basically that was what happened after the match was over between Sheila and Lovey 4. Because next we get to the incomplete TNT Championship match. It will feature what was the nickname for Jake Hager here? Oh yeah, Rock Hard Jake Hager being played by his wife, Catalina. Catalina White Hager. That's her full name. Obviously, her real last name is White, but because she's married to Hager, it's one of those marriage things. The husband's last name goes to the wife's name. The wife's last name. That whole thing. But Jake Hager goes up against the American Nightmare, the incomplete TNT champion, Cody Rhodes. Fuck you, WWE. Being covered by the enforcer, Arn Anderson. Just saying. And also, Cody Rhodes was wearing a t-shirt, the old school logo of WCW's Great American Bash. And also, who represents the NXT during their Great American Bash show, not just for event 1, but event 2. Shout out to them too, even though I don't watch them anymore because I'm done with WWE in general. But yeah, but props to them for doing that show. But out of the blue, they decided to do that because AEW is doing Fyter Fest, and I see myself, well, if they want to do Great American Bash, they could have been doing this, years and years from years ago, basically. Why they decided to do it now? Yeah, because they want to compete with AEW, which is fine. I'm not trying to harsh on them for that. If I was Triple H, I would have done the same thing too. At the end of the day, it is competition. AEW and NXT are a competition every Wednesday night. So there you go. Not going to not for the covering NXT for doing what they're doing. At the end of the day, business is business. But yeah, the match itself between Cody and Hager, I thought was good. I enjoyed it. It was a good wrestling match. You have Hager's wife at one point getting involved, and I think Arn Anderson got involved too for a little bit. But then also he got pushed down by Hager at one point. Dustin Rhodes comes out and basically hits Hager. And I thought that was gonna be a way for Cody to run up for a win, but no. The match will continue on to that. And then in the end, Hager goes for his submission move. But Cody good to know. Anyways, that's my brother's thing, by the way. Anyways, Hager got Cody in the submission move, and Cody got some pin down. Referee goes for a count, and Cody gets the win. And Hager lets go and thinking he won. And then as the music is playing, he's still celebrating like he won. I said, wait a minute, do you not hear the music? It's Cody's music. So that made Hager look like a goof in a way, where he couldn't even tell it was different theme music. But I guess it was all out of emotion that he thought he won, that he didn't think of it. So, but then he realized finally after 10 seconds later. So he's arguing with the referee, which by the way the referee, I can't remember his name again. Mike Posey. Mikey Posey. Mike Posey. Excuse me. By the way, the match between Cody and Hager, basically 15 minutes. But Mike Posey and Jake Hager were arguing, because Hager thought he won, and Mike saying, no, you lost, and then Hager punches him, like, whoa. So that not only led to Jake Hager being fined for laying his hand on an official, but also it led to him being suspended, except for one thing. He's only suspended for 10 days. And the reason why I thought he's going to be suspended for more than 10 days, because maybe those could do some investigation or things to Jake Hager, because he was also added to the list of sexual allegations from the whole speaking out movement thing. But I guess there's really nothing to talk about with things like Jake Hager of what's going on with him with the whole sexual allegation, because he's not going to be gone that long anyway. He's going to be back on once we get to Fyter Fest. Once we get to Fight for the Fallen, excuse me, which could be on the 15th. Yes, the 15th of July, which is going to be on Wednesday. So, obviously, but yeah. So, well, yeah. But I guess we're not in the talk about since Jake Hager, because it must be false allegations, I guess. So, but yeah, they're doing this whole thing where he's suspended for 10 days and he's been fined, and there you go. And as for Cody had won the match here only because Justin Rose got involved. Arn Anderson in a way got involved too. So they're teasing more of these heel turning for Cody Rhodes, which is fine. They want to do that, that's fine. But they need to hold that until we get real fans coming back into the arenas. Real fans for that emotion, because these fans are they love Cody Rhodes. These fans look up to Cody Rhodes like he's their hero. He's a hero to them. And they need wait until we get fans in there. Same thing with Wardlow. You want to do the whole thing with Wardlow turning face, turning on MJF? Wait till the fans comes in. Wait till we bring fans back. You want to do the whole thing with Cody Rhodes turning heel? Wait till the fans comes in. That we can get that reaction, the negative reaction from the fans to boo Cody Rhodes for turning on the elite, and turning basically turning heel. Hopefully we get to that point. Hopefully they hold on to it. Once we get to we start getting fans back into the arena. Will it happen anytime soon? I don't know, because the pandemic it's still a thing. So it's unfortunate. But despite that, the match itself for the incomplete TNT Championship was pretty good. I enjoyed that match too. Before we get to have the next, I gotta see if anything else happened after the match. Oh yeah, we get a video package of Darby Allin doing more of skateboarding stunts where he's not medically clear to compete. And there was one thing they show with some guy who was light on fire as he's doing his skateboard tricks. Kind of like, hey, it is what it is, I guess. It's whatever. But yeah, that was pretty good, that one. So then we get to the next match, which is Private Party, or in this case, Private Hardy, because Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn being covered by Matt Hardy, which is why they're Private Hardy, because it's a Private Hardy. Oh, I'm sorry. I remember now. It was a Hardy Party. It's a Hardy Party. By the way, they got new theme music. By the way, new theme, a new theme song, Private Party. I don't like it. I miss their old theme song. It's a private party. We're just getting started. I don't know what this one is, but it sucks. But anyways, but they're the Hardy Party because Matt Hardy's with them. But same time, they're still private party. But they go up against representing the Inner Circle, Proud and Powerful, which is Santana and Ortiz. A tag team match that lasted 11 to 23 seconds, which I thought was a decent tag team match. I enjoyed this decent tag team match. I don't remember Matt Hardy got involved a little bit in the match, but in the end, surprisingly, it was Private Party having a Hardy party as they got the win over Santana and Ortiz. I didn't see that coming, but I wasn't mad at it. And also, the winner of that match too was going to receive an opportunity to face the AEW World Tag Team Champions on the next event of Fyter Fest, which we'll get to. And Private Party won, so there's no more contenders against whoever may be the AEW World Tag Team Champion, which we'll get to right now. But before we do, get something else too here probably. So I also so I think something else happened here too. I could swear Orange Cassidy came out too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I remember something about Orange Cassidy coming out. It probably happened during the match or before the match started with Private Party Santana and Ortiz, where Orange Cassidy comes out and he's on commentary and he's saying nothing, and Jericho was irritated with that. And then all of a sudden, after the match was over, Jericho was pissed off and everything that Proud and Powerful didn't win. And then Jericho decides to I remember how he did it. And I remember Private Party also coming close to a commentary booth or that, and then they left. And then Jericho takes I think a glass of orange juice, something like that, I think it was, or something, and then he pours it onto Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy gets up, then walks away. Jericho was irritated, so he tried to go after him, but also to get a pull pop from securities and a couple of wrestlers too. I think referees too. And that was it. Basically, it was more hype between those two for event 2 of Fyter Fest, which we'll get to. But yeah, I digress. All right, now we get to an interview by Dasha Gonzalez interviewing the Hangman, Adam Page, and Kenny Omega, the AEW World Tag Team Champion. Page says that he loves the best friends and they deserve a shot, but however, they deserve drives up once they get into the ring. And then Kenny Omega said they have defeated every tag team in AEW that's going against Acton. And this week will be no different. And there you go. Good. AEW announced AEW has announced Fight for the Fallen to take place on July 15th. And it makes you think too, what NXT is going to do on that night. What NXT is going to be doing on that night when Fight for the Fallen takes control of the AEW Dynamite on July 15th. Makes you think, makes you wonder. So I'll be keeping my eyes on that one too to see how that works out for NXT. But that's when Jon Moxley will go up against Brian Cage, and you're wondering why is that? Because aren't they supposed to wrestle each other on Fyter Fest of event 2? It was until WWE did something what they did, and you're probably wondering what's that got to do with Jon Moxley not showing up there. Well, let's get to it, because next we get to Taz coming out there with Brian Cage. So Taz says that everyone probably assumes that they are pissed, basically about the whole situation. And he says, well, they're not, and says that they don't care if Moxley, politics, and his ass to get some extra time, for instance, facing the Machine, Brian Cage, and says to Tony Khan, the president of AEW. But he said that he had a nice conversation with Tony Khan, that the conversation that he learned that Moxley is concerned with his health, and also the well-being of everyone in AEW, which he was. John Moxley was thinking about his health and the health of the well-being of AEW, that everyone that was there. And then Taz says he finds that weird because Moxley has been tested twice and he is negative, which is true. And I'll get that pretty soon. Once I get to that, was one part that Taz said, because Taz says if he would bring his ass next week, he would get tested again because AEW doesn't run a sloppy shop. Pause. One more. So, John Moxley, he tested twice, and twice he's negative because Renee Young was with someone who had COVID-19. And because Renee Young was near someone who had COVID-19, she also had COVID-19. So Renee Young being married to John Moxley was near Renee Young, who has COVID-19. But luckily for John Moxley, he didn't catch COVID-19. Thank God. At the same time, with Renee Young, I'm glad she's doing fine. I'm glad she's doing okay. I'm glad that she's doing very well. Hopefully, she is tested negative this time around for this COVID-19 thing. And also the Kayla Braxton. Hope she's doing okay too. Hope she's doing fine. Hope she's doing well. She called it twice. But as far as Renee Young, Renee Young, hopefully she's tested negative, and she can celebrate with her new cookbook. Anyways, so yeah, this whole thing with Moxley not being part of the show was disappointing, upsetting, but wasn't his fault. Not even Renee Young's fault. It's the WWE's fault for what Taz says, for running a sloppy shop, because they didn't take COVID-19 seriously. They wanted to do the test, the actual real test, to make sure everything's okay, everything's fine, because they want to deem themselves as essential companies, right? WWE is essential, right? Well, they sure tell them on the show that when they decide to not test the wrestlers and the staffs, because dozens, 2 dozens of people in WWE and more have been tested positive. Good job, WWE. Good job. Keep running that sloppy shop that you're doing. All for money and entertainment, and to do shows, instead of worrying about the well-being and the health of those that they're supposed to be caring for. Dumbasses. If I was working for the state of Florida, I would have shut them down. I would have shut down WWE for running a sloppy shop. If you wear a face mask, you're not considered a fan, and you can't be part of the show. And now all of a sudden they want to wear a mask, or a face mask. And don't wear a face mask, you'll be fine. And now they want to take their test seriously. Now they decide to take the test seriously. Oh yeah, just like they take the whole wellness program seriously either. The wellness policy of it. They didn't take that seriously either. So there you go. And I'm glad that Taz called him out on that too. Taz don't hold anything back. He ain't pulling no punches. One more guy. All right. Now back to this. So basically, that's what Taz was saying on, and going on Taz for that, and he says, but the only case Moxley has is a case of chicken shit, and says that Moxley is afraid of Brian Cage, and he should be. That says that Cage is going to beat him basically bring his brains out, and he's gonna take away his his title. So, and that was the problem. And it's gonna set up for the match for Fight for the Fallen on July 15th, and I can't wait for that. It's unfortunate we have to wait until the to get to that because WWE decided to be idiots. And I'm nothing for as for Renee Young, good that you I guess the way announce her cookbook, but at the same time, I thought her announcement was going to be either tell us how she's doing with her holding well dealing with COVID-19, or at least I decided to leave WWE because they decided to run up their own sloppy shop, but I guess not. All right, then we get to the main event for event one of Fyter Fest for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. 6 minutes and 39 seconds lasted. You had best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent, and probably you had Trent's mother there, Sue. To, basically, I guess they drove them there. I can't remember. Let me double check. It should say. Yes, yes. Basically, Trent's mother dropped them off there, and then they was going to head to the ring. But all of a sudden, Trey's mom said, "Guys, give me a kiss," and he looked embarrassed and like, "Okay, wow, ah." Didn't expect to see that one, but anyway. But they go up against Kenny Omega and the Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Match itself was pretty good. FTR are coming out there. They had basically they were on there to reserve because eventually they will be going after the tag titles and eventually they will become tag team champions. It's only a matter of time. FTR. In the end, obviously, Omega and Page won the match to retain their AEW World Tag titles, and basically it was Adam Page getting the win for by beating Trent, giving him first the dead eye, and then going for the buckshot Larry. And then FTR gets in the ring to celebrate with them, basically bottles of beer, and Hammer Page, he doesn't mind doing that. He's fucking man Page. Kenny Omega, on the other hand, they handed it to Kenny Omega, but Kenny Omega, what does he do? He decides to take this of beer, take the bottle of beer, and pours it outside of the ring. As FTR sees that going on, they were about to beat him up. Young Bucks comes out, and the Hangman and Page was upset that he did that too. Like, you could just give it to me, man. Oh man, but seeing Hangman Page next to FTR, that looks good. And whenever they decide to have the Hangman leave Omega, that would be a nice fit for FTR and Hangman and Page, and also adding Cody in there as well with their own four horsemen. That's how I would do it, but I don't know how they want to do it, but let's see how they do that. But nevertheless, yeah. So I thought event one, Fyter Fest of 2020 was pretty good. And I'll get to event two after I give you about particular event for Fyter Fest from July 1st, and that is highlights. Excuse me. How about that? Let me do this. All right. Swerve on the knife. It will have to be what could be Swerve on the knife? Oh yeah, Swerve on the knife will have to be Private Party getting the win over Santana Ortiz. But I just didn't think that Private Party was going to win here, but they did, and it's whatever. Shock on the night was Jake Hager punching the referee. Me, I thought it was shocking because I certainly didn't see that coming when he first did that. promo of the night, obviously it goes to Taz. I was thinking about MJF, but Taz really nailed it with the promo tonight. If it wasn't for that whole sloppy shop comment that he made, I would give it to MJF. But because Taz did mention that, because it was not just towards NXT, it was also basically towards the entire company of WWE. So Taz gets promo tonight here. Video promo tonight, Hikaru Shida versus W4, which is to the AEW Women's Championship. Moment of the night. Main moment of the night will have to be Hangman and Page standing next to FTR. I want those to be a stable. Whenever they decide to have Adam Page break away from the Elite, even though he's already broken away from the Elite, but basically breaking away from Kenny Omega. Entrance on the night, Cody Rhodes, because of the Great Market Bass T-shirt from the logo from WCW. Moving the night, Hikaru Shida's Michinoku Driver. Finish of the night, Adam Page, Buckshot Lariat. Performance of the night, I'm gonna give it to Penelope Ford. I was thinking about Wardlow, but I'm gonna give it to Penelope Ford just because of the way that she worked in that match. So that performance of the night goes to Penelope Ford. Show Steal of the night, Hikaru Shida versus Penelope Ford for the AEW Women's Championship title. Real match of the night. Real match of the night will have to be, I guess, Cody and Jake Hager. But in a good way, Match of the night. Match of the night. I guess that tag team match, the opening one, MJF and Wardlow versus Jungle Express. So my overall ranking for the show pertains to the first event of Fyter Fest on July 1st of 2020. I'm gonna go with an 8 out of 10, and that was event 1 of Fyter Fest. That was on Dynamite.